What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bingetown TV. We are back with a brand new show to the pod, Amazon Prime's The Wilds. We'll be discussing season 2, which will have dropped May 6th, but we're lucky enough to get screeners beforehand, so we're recording this week. Today, we've got Brian, Paul, and myself, and some very special return guests from Pitchtown TV fame. Emma, who pitched Manifest, and Alex, who pitched True Blood. Now, anyone joining us who hasn't seen any of The Wilds, we appreciate you being here, but also leave because spoilers are starting right now. But before we jump into season 2, we wanted to do some sort of like season 1 recap, but the timing just didn't work out and we needed to jump into season 2 ASAP since we had these screeners. So I'm going to throw it to Paul because we, collective, I'm pointing to Brian, Emma, and Alex, have seen it a couple months ago, whatever. Paul just binged it this week to be on the pod, so he's the freshest.
Yeah, I crushed season 1 and then 3 episodes of season 2 in about a little over 48 hours. So I feel like I'm on the island still.
Absolutely love to see that.
Oh my god! I mean, it was phenomenal. It's been on our list forever. And I'll try my best since I got those fresh eyes to recap season 1. Shark bite at the end, obviously.
Shark bite at the end.
I'm starting at the end. I'm thinking backwards here, and then obviously,
we open at the close.
Okay, I will say, starting out this show, I knew kind of the premise. It gives you the premise right away. The island happens, but you see them in the future. They're being interviewed. It's a really cool way to tell a story, but I think they nailed it.
I didn't think that's where that came. But
they crushed it. Because there's something about giving us bits and pieces, showing to us in the beginning. It reminds me a lot of Hill House.
Yeah.
The way like Hill House was told.
Sure.
And that was just phenomenal. So
chef's
and
kiss.
they do this really great thing of kind of throwing you curveball out of nowhere. Like Shelby and Toni came out of nowhere.
Shony.
But Shony is just like the best thing ever, and I'm so happy it happened.
Yeah, the Shony stands are fed this season so far. 3 episodes in, they're getting just pure love from Shony.
Oh man, it's a great time to be a Shony fan.
It really
also,
is.
I have to say, because I also just recently watched the first 5 episodes of the first season, and they did a lot of foreshadowing. Like right in the beginning of the first episode, you could kind of pick out, you could even kind of see Shony,
sure.
when in Toni's episode, they whenever they would flash back from her girlfriend, the first person they would show is Shelby.
Love that.
So it was foreshadowing a little bit.
It was the only reason I watched the show. I didn't even hear of it. We talk a lot about how Amazon Prime doesn't really pump their shows up that much. They're getting better at it for sure, and with Wheel of Time, The Boys and stuff. But beforehand, Amazon Prime shows they didn't do the best advertising for themselves. So The Wilds, my gay Twitter was just popping the fuck off. I saw the Shony kiss in episode 8 before I saw anything, and I was just play, and stayed up all night to get to it.
Wow,
but
I can't believe that was ruined for you.
I was happy it was.
It sold her on it.
Yeah.
It sold her on the show.
If it gets you into it, that's good. But at the same time, I was like, what? This is sick. I love them so much. And I will say real quick, Brian, before I get to you, Rachel, man, was on my list forever. In the beginning, it was so hard to like her. But, oh my God, in the beginning of season 2, everybody's a family. It's great. I love it. I love all the girls now. I don't have one that I don't like.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, that was going to be my question for everybody.
I don't know. I love Dot. I fucking love Dot.
Yeah, me too.
Her episode was incredible. She's keeping all the girls safe with their survival and medical. Honestly, that stuff's coming out of nowhere. So,
yeah, watching her basically heal Rachel's arm. She's the MVP. You can't.
The cauterizing of it all.
Woman.
Yeah, truly. Mine's Fatin. She's just the comic relief. I love everybody. I think that they really probably were Toni was a little harsh in season 1 because now she's sweet like sugar in this season. Love does that to you, but it's also they kind of took some of the heat off of Toni and now gave it to Morty. I think Marty's being a little diva-ish this season. I think for reasons
well, we still haven't seen her in
her and Nora, but obviously
that was one of my big questions for you guys. Do you think Marty is gonna be alive at the end of the island?
I think she kills herself. That's my prediction.
We saw the suicide warning that began episode 1, wasn't it?
That was because of Leah.
We thought it was about Martha because they showed it to you at the beginning of the episode, and kind of both agreed. We were like, who's committing suicide?
I thought it was Leah.
But I guess it
She
was
took all the
Also,
benzos or
it was
whatever.
Yeah.
it was about Leah for the overdose, but I wouldn't be surprised knowing them if it was like a suicide warning.
It was a fake out.
Yeah,
Well, I would just be heartbroken.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah,
I hope that that's
no,
not the case, but obviously we know something
I
happened.
think the
Yeah.
rationale was that like Martha would be jealous of Shony, but she seemed pretty accepting pretty quick of that.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think they got past that pretty well.
I think that Martha was probably annoyed that Toni was being such a monster in the beginning about Shelby.
She gave her so much shit.
So much
you
shit, and
know?
now it's like, okay, now
oh,
you get to just like
Yeah.
there's Martha, Marty, whatever you want to call her, was super cool with Toni with every girlfriend she's ever had. She doesn't care. It's just that I think that it was Shelby is like annoying that Toni didn't tell her and is
Yeah.
whatever. But
mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, they're supposed
especially
to-
given the first season when she was so mean to Shelby.
Yeah, and they're
After
best
Shelby
friends.
was so nice to
Yeah.
Martha.
Before we leave
Yeah.
season 1 territory, I want to know, especially Paul just watching, like, who did you think were the narcs
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
Like, I thought Dot for a while.
They make it seem
with
like
that-
Dot.
They really lead you down that path. But what do you think?
So the only reason I didn't think it was Dot was because they already had her interview at like the 3rd episode. So I figured it wouldn't be somebody that they're trying to interview. So for a long time though, I thought it was Marty. I didn't have any reasoning behind it. I did kind of think it was Nora a little bit. I didn't have anything to confirm it just because she was smart and knew how to survive. And that's basically what I was at. But I mean, I wasn't like dead set on anybody. So when it was revealed that it was Nora talking to the tree, I was kind of like, wow, how could you do this to us?
so the Dot red herring is because Dot actually meets with Gretchen in her episode, and that's why I think it's a red herring. Other than that, you wouldn't think it's Dot.
I also just thought she just knew it so well. It's like, why wouldn't you plant someone who could like at least make sure they don't die or as best you can? You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that was my thinking too. She just like knew so much about.
She's so knowledgeable.
She's the best. Her being like, I'm not good at leisure and like taking inventory
good
is my
leisure.
favorite. She's so sweet.
Also, her in the second season enjoying the leisure.
Yeah.
And going and reading this book on the beach and like getting into it.
Yeah.
I lived for that.
It was
Loved it.
great.
She was the adult on the island. She took care of them all. Like they couldn't have done it without her. And that's why I thought she was the mole, because she stepped up and instinctively took a leadership role, and they would have planted someone who was resourceful. But going back to who's my favorite, I agree with you. I think it's Fatin.
Yeah.
And now that we're on season 2, I think she's always been one of the more adult of the group, just because I think she kind of had more life experiences. Like they're very much just kind of childlike, even though they all have their baggage, but like Fatin always kind of seemed to be like a little bit more adult. And now like when she was doing the sign out shit in episode 2 or 3, like she's taking this motherly role and she's like, damn it, I just care about you guys now.
I'm losing
It's
my
good-
street cred.
It's good to see her side, that side of her. I loved her relationship with Leah too, because they were the pair, of course. And like
Mhm.
when she kind of got in her face, like, are you kidding me? Rachel's hanging on by a thread here, and you're just gonna like take your bullshit elsewhere.
Mhm.
And she got in her face, which like someone had to. Oh, I love me some Leah though. She's crazy, but like
She's
the thing
all-
is,
yeah,
at the
it
end
is
of the day,
crazy
she is
town.
right. She was completely onto Nora.
She's the gaslight
like,
queen.
She has like crazy eyes. It's awesome. It's like the Swarley episode, dude. She's like,
She has this really good ability to just stare and look like completely lost and have like insane amount
Yeah.
of thoughts
She'll
going.
twit,
But
she'll
also
start
look like
twitching in
insane.
any
Yeah.
Like
moment.
her eyes just
Exactly.
go like
So Leah is pretty much the main character, I would say. She's the first episode of season 1, and she's the one who's catching on to everything in season 1. As I would say, Raph is the main boy character.
Seems that way.
Rob.
Raph,
Raph.
sorry,
Oh,
God,
wow.
that was almost
At least he
perfect.
didn't say
Point.
Rafe.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Rafe is just-
Yeah, I was actually
Barbaric.
saying, I was like, it's kind of hard not to say Raph. For all my
I think
Jane
I
the
catch
Virgin fans
Raph,
out
yeah.
there, Raph, come on, where you at?
That's like our first mention of the boys.
What? Rafe? Raph?
Yeah, no, we've just been
Oh, I
talking
thought you
about the
meant the
girls
boys.
group.
I was
No,
like, no,
yeah,
Rafe is the
no.
magicians.
Common,
Rafe is from the Magicians.
common confusion. Yeah, no, Rob. That's like the first time we brought up
Yeah.
the boys group, which
Okay.
is a
going
new
off of
entrance in
that.
season
I
2,
actually
yeah.
think that there are a lot of parallels between the boys and the girls. And
Yeah.
I was telling Brian how I think that it's intentional because if you're doing research, they have to be even playing field.
Yep.
So my first opinion on who the mole is just based off of the first couple episodes.
Let's say it on 3. Everyone on 3.
Wait, hold on.
You love doing
Wait, I
it.
need to relook what I
Who's the narc that's obviously
Um,
not the son? I first of
right,
all, as soon
well,
as he was on screen, I was like, he's the narc. And then he ended
Yeah.
up being the narc like
Yeah.
2 seconds later. Wasn't that good of a call. But I have it my second narc, who I think
too.
it
It's
is.
the same.
Okay. I don't know his name. I'm just gonna off the top of my head, I'm just gonna say an identifier by his face.
Do we
Oh,
all
I know
have a
his
name in
name.
mind
No. Wait, I need like a refresh.
No,
of the
What?
boys' names?
no,
Ah.
no.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Glasses.
Bo.
Seth. You're saying
Seth.
the
Seth.
stepbrother.
I think Seth too.
Who'd you say?
The nerdy kid.
Josh.
Josh.
Oh my God. Is he from TikTok?
Wait, the
Like-
nerdy kid.
Like the
Oh,
dude who has all the creams and ointments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
I'm
who
with
you
Brian.
That's Josh, right?
I'm with
Yeah.
Josh.
Because he had the light. This could be a red herring. Everything's a
Oh,
red herring.
it
But
always
like when they
is.
found the lighter in his bag, that's was some sussy
Huge.
mole type
And-
stuff. Like he knew he had that in the back pocket in an emergency,
Oops,
but he
yeah.
clearly withheld it. Oh, forgot to tell you about the lighter.
Although you could say this, like Seth
Right.
is a brother and Nora was a sister.
I thought about that.
So like
Maybe
if we're
that's too
following
obvious.
right. I mean, it just depends because it's like if like you're doing actual research, shouldn't it be as similar as possible, technically?
I loved the line where the people working on it were like the variables may change, but the danger was equal per island. He
So
basically,
true.
which was which I loved.
Which they were
You have to
saying
ask
that
that
in-
He said he got that quote from Gretchen. Do
Yeah.
you believe that Gretchen? No,
Fuck
absolutely.
that.
Her own
not.
experience.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
for sure.
What a horrible researcher she is.
Yeah.
Hate Gretchen.
I do want to talk about like her hypothesis in general. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's very
we will.
important. It's just that women should rule the world, and that if women ruled the world, basically there wouldn't be like impending doom and war. That's like what she wants. So of course she's
yeah,
gonna stack
yeah.
it. She wants the boys to fail.
She called it.
and they were a true failure.
They were
Yeah.
flopping. That's what I heard.
They were
Boys
flopping
doing their
hard.
flop arrow.
We don't know yet. Yeah.
No,
Well,
off
we
the
don't know
bat.
how they failed,
We
but
also
we know
don't
they
even know
failed.
the design of the whole experiment because she said the girls lasted a full 50 days. Did they like yank them out? Did the boys face
True, we
utter
don't know what
decimation in
happened.
34? Like she might have. That doesn't seem so
guess that's what
significant a
shakes
difference
out.
between survival. It's not like they built a flourishing colony and lasted indefinitely. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
a 34 first 50. Like the girls killed it.
That's why I never. All right, I'll just get like into like the whole of Gretchen's big plan is like her gynecopia. That's what she called it, I think, in season 1.
Oh yeah.
Which like that's a really cool idea and really funny. But like, how are you supposed to collect all this data and make a perfect decision off of just basically 2 trials? Like she called the boys in the beginning of season or episode 1 and season 2 like the control, but like how is that a control group? And there's like compared to the control because men rule the world now, like
Maybe.
or
good
there's a
question.
third group.
Oh my
that was
God.
my
Stop.
other.
A co-ed group.
That's what that's what
Yeah.
my next
A
thought was gonna be.
non-binary group.
That would be
Okay, I'll
Just
take
like
that.
Queer people dominating.
Yeah.
Season 3.
Honestly,
Coming.
I was hoping that it was just going to be like a bunch of these like 8 people on an island all at once, a bunch of different groups of 8 girls, a bunch of different groups and 8 guys, and it's not just these
Sure.
16 that we're seeing. I hope it's like 100 and something, because then I could get behind Gretchen and be like, all right, now these numbers mean something. if you have
I'm
a
not
bunch.
sure how mass producible these
I was
these
like, what kind of budget you
situations
think she
are. I
got?
feel like she
Also,
probably had to
it's not
break a lot of
legal.
rules to get 16.
Yeah, I don't saying like I don't believe the plot of the show, but it's one of the hangups that like the rest of the show is really good, but I just like don't understand how she thinks that they're going to be able to receive enough like data to back up evidence,
You're-
like,
Maybe it's
disputable
just like
proof or
her.
whatever.
I think she just wants to like prove her thesis.
Like, get
it-
the
like
rock
start,
rolling
yeah, and then
start
get
with
more
no
investment
data
or
on it,
buy-in to
yeah.
explore that, right?
Okay.
Like, and
I like that a lot actually. That's,
you know what I
that's
mean?
a really
Like,
good explanation. for it.
she was a professor. You'd have to think she knows it's not enough data to have a
Yeah.
firm conclusion, but not that I'm agreeing with any of what Gretchen's doing. Do not condone it. But ruining kids' lives. She's a psychopath. I loved what her son said about
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
I
she
can't
went
wait to
in
see
psychopath.
his backstory because I feel like we're gonna get like
Mhm.
Gretchen and his upbringing.
I'm glad they brought him in. Okay, I'm gonna take us back to where we ended, so then we could kick off episode 1.
Thank God.
Cool. Okay, so we left off the season 1 with a bang. Leah again, queen of being gaslit to death. is losing it both on the island and in the quote unquote jail. Both. Okay. On the island, Nora traps her in a fucking ditch. And then they filled it in 5 minutes because Nora disappears in the water trying to save Rachel. And then Leah immediately goes to try and find the ditch and it's filled up with Fatin. And Fatin's like, girl, please stop it.
Yeah.
That's how we open anyway. So yeah, Nora drowns. We open with that. Nora drowns, which is allegedly.
Yeah.
Fully allegedly. No way a
Everything's
submarine wasn't
allegedly.
down there saving her.
Right? Scuba divers with tanks just ready to give her an
That
oxygen.
seems like a submarine came in.
She would've-
Gretchen's budget.
She would have washed
Brian
up
thought scuba divers.
Yeah, totally.
fully.
She definitely would have washed up, floating.
Trained walruses, dude. She could have gotten out of there any number of ways.
She rode that
Honestly.
dolphin.
fully.
She better be alive. I love Nora.
I know.
Well, they didn't show her die, so like
101. TV 101.
there's definitely some kind of twist there.
Okay, so let me bring a little like outside knowledge that was super fucking weird. So I don't know this for a fact, but it seemed like as the actress, she was kind of on the outskirts of the
there
group.
was
She
some
was
drama
never
there.
really. There was a little bit of a drama. She posted when everyone was posting trailers, the boys and the girls, maybe a bunch of months back, maybe even last summer or something like that. They were doing teasers like, we're about to start like filming season 2. Everyone was pumped. Everyone was like in COVID on their like cell phones making videos. Nora literally posted it and was like, I was not invited to this. Maybe it's a stunt. Who's to say?
Right.
It could be, but Nora's actress posted it and was like, I was not invited to be in this. And I was like,
Damn.
So the other thing is that she does not have credits for the season.
yeah.
She's only in 10 episodes.
Right. So who knows about Nora, but it would be sick if she was actually alive. And we'll get into it because I feel like we're missing such a story for Nora to explain, and a Rachel Nora, of Leah Nora like scenes. We're missing like such deep, good, whatever. We haven't seen Gretchen mourn Nora at all, which seems crazy because she was like devastated about Jeanette. She had a relationship with Nora more than anyone else besides Jeanette. Nora and her were like met at the jail, we're getting breakfast together, like, you know, Gretchen would be mourning her. So this is all kind of weird. But anyway, moving forward. And in the prison, Leah is running around like a mad woman trying to escape or find a way out or something, and then sees the monitors with the boys. So it's kind of interesting that we open with her obviously in the place finding Roth. I was
Wow.
second guessing it,
One
but
step forward, two back.
yeah. Yeah. So like I'm wondering if she was just like running around and found the boys' room immediately, or because no, we'll get to Leah's confrontation with the blonde guy with glasses because I loved that. It was hot. But
Well, I also had like a question about, obviously Leah told the girls, or at least I forget who it was, somebody about the pit, but do you think she like told all the girls everything about, oh, okay, I think Nora was more involved? Do you think she laid it out, or was like, no, I'm not going to tell them because they're going to think I'm insane?
Well, isn't that what she said when Leah or Fatin lost it at her?
yeah, when she's like ripping at it at the dirt, she's like, Nora threw me in here. She's kind of screaming about it being. I'm sure that Leah said it to Fatin, and Fatin was like, you can't say that to anybody else. You sound fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Leah kind of put it away for 3 episodes. Like she screamed at Nora, she kind of put it away.
Yeah.
Well, no, she
Or
screamed at Rachel.
No,
Rachel.
That's what I meant to
Rachel
say.
screamed
Not
at
Nora,
her.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Dude.
Sorry.
Leah, man, I was texting
I
you
love her.
guys, and I was like, you guys like Leah? Like, I'm trying so hard but she always makes the wrong decision. But exactly what you're saying, Kathleen, lately, she's just like, I know she's been going through a lot, but lately she's turned over a new leaf, and it's just like enjoyable to be around and watch.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I like all the girls are awesome. I don't have one that I hate now.
I agree. The island's pretty good right now.
Yeah,
The
I
island
agree
is
too.
pretty good right
The
now.
vibes are high. The vibes are good.
Yeah,
on the
morale's
island.
good.
We're a family.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
just
love
loved
that.
when Leah and Rachel like walk off. Rachel's like, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to them pity us. And Fatin's like, how are we feeling about that partnership? Like, no,
That's,
not
like,
a
not
chance. Are
good.
you kidding me? That's gonna be a train wreck. But no, they found each other, and it's like so perfect. They're like, yeah, it sucks, but like double for us because Nora's gone and you tried to kill yourself.
I also love that Leah was doing the eyebrow pulling tick when she was sitting on the beach. I think it was talking to Rachel, And that was like from season 1. I think it was Shelby was like telling her to like stop and stuff like that when Leah was getting anxious. But I just like that they're bringing little details like that over and being consistent, because everybody knows consistency is what makes good shows great. I've said it
Agreed.
a million times on this pod.
Agreed. Okay, let's talk through the episode titles really quick. So the episode first of all, we're talking through episodes 1 through 3. I don't even think we said that. 1 through 3 on this one. We're gonna break it up. So the first episode is titled 30/1, which is corresponding days, which day they're showing for the girls, which day they're showing for the boys. I thought they started late and like maybe 30 days later is when the boys started, but it's not. It just means that there's different timelines they're showing you, because the next one is 34/12 and the next one's 36/14, etc. So we're starting with 31. Taylor Swift, Epiphany, hot. Such a good scene. That was like when they're all walking through Nora dying. Or quote unquote dying. I'm not going to stop saying allegedly, because I will not be caught dead.
They also have
saying she
never
died.
said that she's dead. They only refer to her
They
as
said she was
missing.
just gone.
Yeah, they
And she
refer
was
to her as
gone.
missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think she's gonna like pop up back on the island later?
I don't know. I
I don't
kind
think back on
of
the island. I think
I'm a-
they moved her little asylum.
I'm a little bit pessimistic about her actually returning to the show based off of the fact that she doesn't have any credits on it, and also knowing that there was some drama behind the scenes. But I do think that they're going to somehow tie in that she's still alive.
Yeah, and just like do the whole thing, not show her face, but like show the
Yeah.
back of her head
Maybe
talking. Or
she'll
something
come
like
back
that.
for 3.
Oh, yeah.
Will say that the Marvel TV shows actually did go into the first few credits of the first like season and did edit it to make sure it didn't say specific things and give specific people credit. So if they're really paying attention and good, maybe they're doing that on purpose. But
Yeah.
who knows? I could totally see a falling out happen, because they did with like all the shows, like freaking why can't the Wheel of Time?
Yeah, yes,
Matt.
yeah.
See Matt. So it's like anything could happen here. Well, I love Nora, and if she's gone, I'll be heartbroken.
Some IMDb pages are sloppier than others. I got spoiled for Bly Manor from that, because they like put another name under somebody, and I was like, you fucking better stop. And I've never looked at an IMDb page for something that is like I'm ongoing watching. Like I haven't seen The Wilds, just in case someone has a different name than it should be. You know what I mean?
Speaking of almost ruining something, I almost got Shony ruined for me, because when you watched the screeners in Shony, you showed them like kissing or something. I didn't start the show yet. And
When did I? Oh, I shared it on my Instagram story.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which,
statute
actually-
of limitations are out.
Yeah, should we like
I was like, wait a
yeah,
second.
wait, it was Embargo? Like the
Wait.
thing?
What?
Like you sharing that.
Oh no, I shared that. I just shared that was straight from the Wilds Instagram.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
that
I
was
didn't
them
see I didn't
posting
know if
it.
it was like you taking a video.
Oh,
I was like,
which I shared something
"Wait, was she-"
today.
No. It was a few days ago.
But anyway, let's talk about for Nora. I feel like I would rather her be there, but if she was still on the island, it would be a much different season. Like we're getting like all these sweet, cute moments from these girls now that they're just kind of accepting that they're there for now, and they're like making a home and being a family. I feel like if Nora was still there, it would just be like pure chaos and war, and they'd maybe kill her, like Lord of the Flies style, murder Nora.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was actually really interested to see, is how
Yeah.
season 2 was going to handle the island, knowing that it was all
Yeah.
just a big experiment. And then they were like, nope, and they swept that rug out from under my feet and said Nora's gone. So I'm like, I'm pretty much dead set at this point that they're not going to learn that it's experiment until like it's over or whatever, until day 50 or whatever.
Well, we did see like in the asylum at the end of season 1, Leah has that note that says you're right.
Shelby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only Shelby, Leah, and even
Rachel.
I was gonna say Rock knows now, but
Oh,
you know what I mean?
sorry.
Rachel doesn't know. Does she?
I thought you were going through the people that were alive.
No,
Still,
I was saying like who
confirmed.
knows it's a experiment.
Like
at this point.
confirmed.
I
Yeah.
wonder when Leah and Shelby talk. Obviously, it's before day 50 because they're not allowed to see each other in there.
Well, didn't they sneak in and see each other? They gave each
Yeah,
other a
but, like
hug.
they
Oh, yeah,
must
that's
have
when she
talked.
dropped the
That's when
note.
she dropped the note. So they must have talked before they got rescued. Leah must have sown her
Sure.
theories in a little bit.
Sure.
But I guess we'll find out.
I know. I can't wait to see the rest of it. I didn't think we were gonna get this much more on the island. I thought they were gonna get.
I thought it was done.
Yeah, I
and
did
then you find
too.
out, well, no, they got 2 more weeks and anything can happen.
I thought Nora being attacked, or sorry, Rachel being attacked was gonna be like the last straw to be like, okay, we're killing these girls. Let's get them off this fucking island. But no.
Yeah, how like a girl loses her hand and like, oh yeah, according to plan, like this is exactly like what?
Well,
Like,
I mean, it kind of proved Gretchen's point though, because like they healed, like they, not fixed her, but like what's the
They
medical
managed. They
word? Like,
managed.
yeah.
they gave her, you know, the
Treated her. Yeah.
I just
the
feel
help
like
that she needed.
I'm also sure that they had to sign something where, like, if they died as the mole, the experiment was allowed to continue. Whereas if it was any of the other girls, a death might have triggered, like, all right, get them out of there.
Yeah. Well, who was the dead boy?
That's my. Let's talk about the boys generally. Let's
Yeah.
run through.
Let's
'em,
dive- let's
run-
dive in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Roth is the first one that we meet. What were our instant takes on him? Because his backstory, is that episode 2 or 1? His
2.
backstory. You were shaking your head no, Kathleen.
I don't
Not a
like
fan.
him.
whoa.
I don't like Raph. Raph.
Really?
Ruff.
Can't
Um,
even remember the kid's name.
I did.
You're
I
not
can't
even
get a
giving
read.
him
First of all,
chance.
let me just put this out here. I'm like, all these boys are kissing each other. Every single one of them. I'm getting vibes from every single one of them. Everyone. I'm like, Kieran, yeah, he's kissing all these boys. He's the douchey lacrosse boy.
Yeah.
I'm like, even with gonorrhea,
McKinley
he's
High
kissing everyone.
douchebag, as said in the first.
Yeah.
episode.
And it's always, I do like that they pair people up like from the same school. Like, here are 2 best friends, like Toni and Marty, and then the brother and the stepbrother, like Nora and Rachel. I like all that junk. Same schools, things like that. It's good.
Emma, you pointed out that the pairings between the boys and girls even were similar. Like,
Yeah.
both of them had a sibling
Mm.
pair. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Wow.
Like 2 were in the same school but weren't like friends. They
Yeah.
just knew
Yeah.
of each other.
And then 2 are like enemies, which is like Taylor and Kieran from whatever that backstory
Yeah.
is.
And Don Shelby are not enemies, but just like cut off from different fucking
Yeah.
The
plots.
Texans.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love them. I love the girls. Every time the boys were on, I was like,
Really? Every time? No
No.
redeemable qualities.
no,
from the
I like the
boys?
boys now. I do like the
I
boys
don't
now.
want it. I'm like,
I want the
I
girls.
I will say
Yeah.
in episode 1, I'm like, who are these dudes?
Yeah.
Let's see the girls. All right. But then,
Yeah.
you know, after it was the same thing with episode 1. Once you get to know the girls, and you're like, all right. Once I got to know the guys, I was like, Bo, I fucking love you, man. Like,
I also really liked how they did the transitions. Like they were first talking about the girls and the way that they were doing it. Introduced the guys, like they were like, you know, I wish I'd written it down, but essentially it worked. Like it was a continuation and
Yeah.
didn't feel quite like a new story,
Mm-hmm.
which I was personally kind of nervous about going into.
Same.
It's kind of alluded to that the boys experienced some trauma around day 15,
Yep.
and clearly they couldn't last past day 34. Do we have any theories to what that was? Specifically, I think Rolf or Scotty said some of us seem nice, but we were turning into monsters.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the one that is a monster, and why is it Seth?
I was gonna say, I was gonna say if he's not the narc, he's the dude who like snaps. I
I-
mean, that's a further episode narc.
But come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
right? He's got to be the one that just put you.
Seth is Glasses half stepbrother. I mean,
Yeah.
I call him
all
Jack
stepbrother.
Antonoff. I feel like he looks like baby
Yeah, he
Jack
does look
Antonoff.
like
I mean,
he's hot.
they're
he
all
does,
very
yeah.
nicknameable.
Yeah, so I thought I called Seth to be the narc. The one fault is him drowning the kid, his brother. I was like, okay, maybe he's not the fucking steadfast narc.
Yeah, he's got some psychopath
Yeah,
instincts.
yeah.
You know what's funny though is that this is the first time I've thought it. Maybe Skrillex is the narc, which is
Skrillex.
I think his name's
Would be the
Henry.
Nora equivalent.
Would be the Nora equivalent because
That's
they're
actually
the
a good
two
point.
siblings,
Yeah.
and Rachel was kind of like one of the jocks. From a who are the 2 meatheads of the group? It's Seth and the Lax Bro. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna be the leaders of whatever group.
Yeah,
They're
they're the
splitting 3
alphas.
and 3.
Yeah.
The
So to
alphas,
speak,
thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Where was
I
I
see
going?
that.
But since they're the sibling pairing from the girl, it would make sense. And Rachel was the jock of those siblings. I keep giving you the eye contact too. I'm
Stare
sorry.
me right in the eyes.
Seth.
We're
Yeah,
all in
that
the
would
same
make
room,
sense that
people.
Skrillex could be the narc.
It's funny that you phrased it like that because I told Al when we were watching episode 3 that my first question was going to be, who's your favorite character and why is it Fatin? And that's how I was going to phrase it.
I am with you there.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
know.
was thinking would be best friends with Fatin is Margot from The Magician.
Oh, love that.
100%.
They were
Yeah.
just
Without
like-
a doubt.
I would pay so much money just to watch them have like a conversation in character.
Agreed. While we're on parallels, I just want to talk about the fact that, you know what made me think that the days were staggered, like they started the boys late, is because I was like, you know what? Since Jeanette died on day 1, they probably had to make one of the boys die on day 1. But Jeanette was an accident. They didn't want Jeanette to die. This boy was a like a decoy. This was they must have taken a fucking cadaver that looked like him and had it ready and just dumped it in the water.
I'm realizing it was the same flight attendant. So I think
It
that
had to be
it puts it to
staggered.
rest that it was
Blake, the
staggered.
cake guy.
Yeah.
I was like,
Cake
well,
boy.
you had to name him Blake, the guy that gives him cake.
Wait. Oh, you made that up?
No, like,
Oh,
he has
he's credited
Blake,
as
the name
such.
tag. It says
Wait,
Blake.
I must talk about the fucking Marty's like dream dance sequence in
Oh.
season 1 was so unexpected and so incredible and stupid. I remember watching season when I tell you I started season 1 at 6 p.m. and I ended it at 3 in the morning the same night. I was watching that scene at like 1 a.m. and I was like, I gotta go to bed. I was like, what the fuck is going
You're like,
on
I
right
missed
now?
something
It was
here.
awesome though. Like, no, that was amazing.
I think that's when she was like tripping off the bad clams or oysters.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever, the
Mhm.
mussels. That's what it was.
Oh yeah,
That, I mean,
that's a scene.
so funny. Actually, that is like my sexiest scene.
I was gonna say, was that your sexiest scene with Tony licking
Yes,
the clam?
how did you know that? That was Paul's sexiest scene. Tony and that clam around the campfire just going at it like nobody was watching. Fucking loved it.
I was gonna ask that at the end. I didn't know
God.
if it was gonna be like, I was like, it had to be a Shony scene for sure, but it wasn't gonna be like
Yeah.
Aaliyah and her pedo fucking boyfriend
No,
scene.
no, because that's just.
I
She
hated
was
that
icky.
backstory.
Yeah.
So icky.
Mhm.
What did you expect, Leah? If you lie to a dude and say I'm 18,
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm actually
brutal.
16.
That was brutal to watch for sure.
Unhinged.
It hurt. Yeah.
from the jump.
Me and Emily were watching together. We just watched the first few episodes, and when they do get to that reveal, Leah gets in the car. I was like, "Oh, I had to tell my parents you were to Uber," and he's obviously something's up. He was like, "Somebody sent me your birth certificate in like September 5th or whatever." And we were like, "Oh my God, she's not 18 yet." And he was like, "September 5th is when you turn 17." We were like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? That's
Literally so
disgusting.
gross.
Sorry for
So
anybody
gross.
whose ears I just demolished.
I'll lower that on the volume. I'll save your ears. Should we keep going with the boys?
Yeah.
So we've got
Yeah.
Josh, who is people voted might be the narc. He is the dorky medicine boy. He's the one with the only
Dorcas.
suitcase that happened to have a lighter, all the medicine, this and that. So yeah.
Yeah, he could be the narc, but now that I'm thinking about it, it might be the younger stepbrother.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
younger
I'm
guy,
thinking
'cause-
it's
obvious.
Would
Skrillex
they
now.
go that obvious,
Well-
or would they make us think they wouldn't? And then they
That's the
did?
point.
I don't know. It's just that they said like they harped on it a million times that this guy has been in Boy Scout and had 92 merit badges or whatever. And it's like, okay, this guy obviously knows how to live in the wild, and she specifically said that's what we want one of our people on the ground to know.
Mhm.
I feel like the mole wouldn't start like singing loudly around a cougar though. A mole would know that there might be some actual danger out there and be like, okay,
Yeah.
everybody be quiet.
I was like, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
He was like a little crazy.
Yeah.
Came in with the sea shanties.
Yeah, he really did.
Well, you can.
They're
you
doing
know,
good with keeping it kind of like could like toss a coin. Who fucking knows?
It really could be anyone. I think that Josh is the red herring though, because I think it would be too obvious for it to be the kid that has the medicine. And
Sure. It's kind of
Um,
like Shelby finding all of the suitcases, which makes her the red herring in season
Right.
1 a bit.
I also
Yeah.
wonder if they're going to do something similar with like the black box and finding like,
Mm.
all of the like suitcases
Mm.
Did
sporadically.
they find a bag of chips? Wasn't there like an
Yeah, there was
a
episode about that?
Taki.
Yeah.
Phenomenal
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
So, like I wonder
Yeah.
if they're gonna do something similar for the boys.
Well,
They
what the?
did. They did. It was in the first episode. Remember, that was the other shady thing. They stumbled upon this latch and this
Yeah.
hatch in the woods, and
Yeah, we
didn't,
have to talk
like
about that.
think of like
Oh,
second
yeah,
guess
that was
why the
weird.
fuck is there like fresh?
So-
Why
fizzy
is there, like,
water
a-
here?
So
Yeah.
And beer?
they looked at the they looked at the journal and there were like wildlife pictures. And I was theorizing maybe since Gretchen is a professor, she was doing some like graduate study experiment. Clearly she knew about the, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
a plausible theory for why that structure is there.
But the
Wouldn't you be
Seth
like,
was
what
pretty-
kind of island am I on? Or like,
Seth was pretty quick to be like, yeah, wildlife study. Don't think about it too hard. Free, lots of resources.
Like
So,
underground
there's
bunker
Seth.
in a random
Who's the mole?
island.
Who was
they
it?
could be like, Roth found it, everyone. Like he was deflecting
Right,
hard.
that's
on giving
true.
credit. It was
True.
weird.
I
yeah,
stand by it being
they're gonna
Seth.
kiss.
Very
Oh,
good.
They're gonna
Yes, they're gonna
kiss.
kiss. That was another thing that Brian brought up when we were watching, is he was like, I don't think it's going to be Seth because they're building up this romance between the two of them.
Could be
But
Ben.
I
Yeah.
think
Two things could be true.
I think that they are doing that intentionally because it's just going to cause more drama, you know, if the mole ends up being involved with someone.
Well, I just want to go back on that whole Seth and Raph are going to kiss because I think Raph and Leah are going to kiss. And that's my.
He is our bisexual king.
You really might be.
Ralph is definitely our
He's
bisexual king.
confused, that's for
He
sure.
loves that
totally
girl. He loves that
confused.
girl.
I don't love that girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Or
hate her. She's
bourgeoisie
terrible.
family. She's
Actually-
the heiress to a salsa fortune. That's
Honestly, her
old
parents
money.
were kind of
know
nice
it.
though. She wasn't.
Her parents are hot too.
Yeah, there's
Actually, her parents were
Speaks to
kind of
me.
cool. They picked him up from jail and were just like, "We'll help you out with the lawyer."
No, I think
They're
that
kinda uppity,
she's
though.
frustrated with him for not having any like passions or anything. I get that. I got that from her. I was like, okay, I feel that. He seems like clingy and he's like, well, I love you. And she's like, okay, well.
but also they're kids. Like, isn't it okay that he doesn't really
She's
know?
a
I
little
think it's what
uppity.
what his dad told him.
Yeah.
Roth's dad got in
Yeah,
his face
that
and
was
said
harsh.
she's gonna forget about. That's what it is. I think he slipped up. Like her parents just had to pick him up from jail, and she has options. She's
She
probably
stopped
going
wearing
to
the
college.
bracelet.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
She's
I feel
over
like
it.
He's becoming
over
a
it.
self-fulfilling prophecy. Like his mom was like, "You quit soccer
Yeah.
and your grades suck." Like, but this girl is looking for someone who like knows himself and has a passion. And
Yeah.
and meanwhile he's like giving up his whole life to just like follow her around. So yeah, I think it's just not really gonna pan out.
Yeah.
His dad is gonna be correct.
Enter perfect scenario to experiment with your sexuality in the form of a plane crash with 7 other
Exactly.
pubescent boys.
He's already
Yes.
wearing a bracelet, so he's halfway there.
Well, they also
Living on a
They
prayer?
also like kind of alluded to it in the scene where Kieran,
Kieran.
Kieran,
Kieran,
yeah.
where Kieran's naked in the ocean.
Yeah.
Because they made it so weird and like elongated. Like he didn't have to have such a weird response about it.
No.
Ralph, I mean,
Well, neither did Kieran. Kieran
B
didn't have to be like,
Toms,
you
what
looking at
is
my dick, like
up?"
swinging his dick.
You're
B-Toms is
smart.
exploding.
he's excited. Yeah.
Biggest theory: does Kieran have a micro penis?
Yes.
And that's why
100%.
he said it wasn't cool. This shit you pulled back in school, dude, to the gay kid in the group. And he was just like, yeah, you're right. It wasn't cool. Maybe he outed him for having a micro penis because he was such a bully to him in school. And he was like very quick, like, what? You staring, Rolf? What, you want to take a look? That's like some
Oh.
projecting overconfidence. I'm like 20% on this theory, but 20% is enough to say micro penis on the podcast.
Also,
so.
he's not giving me the credit here, and I appreciate it because I don't know if I necessarily want the credit for this one, but I was the one who was like, he's got a micro
Was that you
wiener.
first?
Yes.
We came up with it together.
When he was standing in front of Rafe. Raph.
Roth.
You guys got me freaking out. I just say Raphael. All right. So Raph, I swear I heard some slaps against his thigh when Kieran was, wiggling it around. So I don't know.
Like the
mic-
was
water
listening.
he was washing
Yeah.
around in.
Nah, dude. I don't think he has a micro penis.
Well,
I
he
think
also has some kind of infection. So
He's got the gonorrhea.
he shaves his chest.
Yeah.
Well,
so.
I think it's interesting that Kieran and Taylor clearly have some baggage. Some beef went down at school, but he doesn't like throw homophobic shit at him other than like Taylor like picking that fight when he
Butt
said
munch.
But like he just comes at Raph. Like it's very interesting. I'm like, do you have a gaydar, Kieran? Like
Yeah.
why are you seeking out?
I thought that
Raph
was
here?
interesting too. It was like really
'Cause It's not his
intense.
shtick. He's not like homophobic to everyone. He just targeted Raph,
Right.
which I
And
thought was
also
interesting.
Roth's reaction was weird. Like it was like very right. It was very like
I know.
like
I'd be
awkward.
like, dude, what are you talking about? No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
If I was, I'd say, hey, nice guy.
He didn't deny it though. Like he was just like stumbling over his words. Like
He's like, I just don't even know who I am or what I am.
Yeah, I was
Basically.
like, bro, you've been away from your girlfriend for I don't know how long.
He hates
Also,
himself.
Is it just me or did anyone else get the vibe that the girlfriend might have. I don't remember if we knew why how he got to Gretchen, but I like kind of thought that in that car ride after they picked him up from jail, that they might be like
The
have
girlfriend's
something to
mom
do
gave
with
him a business card, I think.
think
That's
the
that's
lawyer-
like
the
the
confirmed.
lawyer's business card was Gretchen's.
I-
To passageways or whatever the
Oh.
fuck it was.
Yeah.
I think it was something to
Donna.
get him out of trouble and then
Yeah.
make him look good. And I thought it
And
was
that's
Gretchen's
like the
thing.
guys brochure was a little bit different than
Is
the girls.
Mark
You
the
had-
mole
Yeah.
or Roth? Who's
Roth?
Mark?
Roth.
Yeah,
Well,
what?
Roth
Are
is the
you
mole.
talking Moon
I
Knight?
don't know who Mark
Yes.
is.
Are you talking Moon Knight?
Yes, I am.
I
talking
think
Midnight.
actually that's a really good question.
Mark.
Now I
Who
got
is
you
Mark?
saying Mark.
Roth could be, because he does have that really weird reaction to Leah at first, being like, I have to go tell someone that you're here.
Yeah, and I think that might be a good twist because obviously we never got to see any of the narcs in the girls talk to Mr. and Mr. Copman people, detectives.
Do we think
Detectives?
they
Yeah.
like Gretchen and are fully about the experiment? The
No,
detective
no.
guys, yeah.
I
was
loved
getting the vibe.
when the guy who was doing it with her was just giggling when Scotty was like, "Dude, she's awful at this."
Is this a
Like,
rookie?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
That was
I
that
like those
was.
moldy ass interrogation tactics.
Speaking of them, so we talked about Kieran. He's this like the fuck boy, gonorrhea,
Black
micro
bro.
penis man. And then we can quickly talk about Ivan Taylor. Is that his full name? Because people
Yeah.
were calling him Taylor, and then I was confused because his name is Ivan. You said his name was Ivan.
Because I looked up.
Yeah.
We were getting so confused.
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
name.
So
there's no closed caption.
I think they were
and
just
stuff.
calling him by his last name. He's the gay man. Love that. Love
He
the
is.
rest.
He's my favorite.
So
He's also the one with
entertaining.
the nice clothes.
Mhm.
Yes.
He is so funny and so entertaining. I love whenever he's on the screen.
I
Yeah.
enjoy it too.
I'm excited to see their backstory together. I like when they cross like that.
Bro, you guys
What
are
do you
so
have to
right.
say?
I do not like Ivan Taylor. He's too catty, man. He like picks out fights. The butt munch
Okay.
thing. Butt munch is so PC.
Yes, Bun Munch did piss me off. I was like, "What are you doing here?"
I didn't even know it was rude.
I mean, Kieran was
Yeah.
right. It doesn't matter. Everyone munches butts.
Yeah,
Uh,
true,
But it's
true, true,
rooted
true.
in that before, I guess, because that used to be like a thing. I understand.
But also, it does sound like, wow, Chad.
Chad.
I'm excited for their background episode because he was definitely an asshole bully and
Got you.
He was definitely an asshole bully, and I'm excited to see what Ivan
Yeah.
Taylor revealed about him.
It was totally. You guys got me in that mindset now. It's totally Glee and Kurt and his bully. His bully bullied him because he was gay and actually was in love with Kurt. Wait, Kurt?
Kieran?
yes,
No.
Kurt.
No, he's
No,
talking about
Glee.
Glee.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Kurt.
Oh, I've
vaguely
never
know-
seen Glee. I thought you were
What?
calling one of the kids Glee. I was
Me
like,
either,
which
but
one
I
is
vaguely,
Glee?
I vaguely know what you're saying.
I think that should be your
And,
next
like,
show.
He bullied him because he was actually secretly in love with him.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
That's what
Glee's a
happened.
great show.
I sent a text message or I sent a Snapchat to Emily and she screenshotted. I'm pissed. And it was after episode 3 of season 1 of The Wilds, and it was Dot's episode.
Season
and I-
2.
No,
No,
season 1.
season
It
one.
was Dot's episode, and I was bawling, crying because it just seen with her dad happened. I sent her a text, and I was like, "I am so straight, but I haven't cried at a show since the Finn and Mr. Shoe, like Finn death and Mr. Shoe's reaction from Glee. That's the last time I cried, and this fucking show had me right up there." And sorry, we were just talking about Glee, so I had to throw my other.
I love a Glee
Absolutely, yeah.
pitch.
Wow.
Sorry,
He's
I
doing
got on a
pitch down for
tangent
Glee.
there.
Glee's
Okay.
a great show. The Wilds,
No.
also a great season 1 and first 2 episodes of season 2. Let's get back to it.
Okay, so next we've got the brother and stepbrother pair, Henry and Seth. So Henry, I assume that's Henry. It seemed like, what do you think the family's going on? Because Seth called Henry's mom, and Henry got mad. So I was trying to figure out the dynamic.
Seth is adopted.
They're stepbrothers.
Yeah, but I think maybe his dad adopted him, and then they married into it because he's like, your parents didn't want you, or something like that.
I thought
I
it
think
was.
his mom ran away
Yeah, I
from the
think
family.
Seth is the older with the glasses.
Jack
right?
Anston.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Seth, I think his father married Emo Kid's mother, and when
Yeah.
Seth said, "Mom," Emo Kid was like, "What do you get off calling my mom your mom?" Because, like, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
I'm not close enough.
Maybe the dad left.
I I think Henry's dad died. That's why he's so like morbid and emo. But like I think
that's
Seth's
good.
mom left him, and he's like, "That's why your mom didn't even want
Death
you."
is coming.
So I
I
think
like
like their
that.
parents like
Yeah.
remarried and they forced them together, and neither of them
Oh.
really. I guess Seth's more fine with it. Henry does not want that family.
Yeah, agreed.
Obviously.
Seth seems like almost happy that he has a family.
Yeah. He's a sweet boy. He's my favorite, and he's also the narc. So
It's scaring me when he did that thing, right? He's like,
Yeah.
"Why are you so sweet? Why are you so positive? Like you're just like white knuckling your way through life or something." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he needs a therapist.
Yeah.
He says he has one. Okay, buddy, you gotta do more work.
I know. I know. I binged all of Heartstopper yesterday, and which is this new cute little gay show on Netflix where it's like just like a slow burn of the two high schoolers like falling in love. It's so fucking cute. I'm really confusing the two right now because it's all boys basically in that show, and now I'm
Mm.
like so confused about
Which
the
one should
boys.
be all gay boys?
I do.
get
I
it,
do.
yeah.
I actually do want that. Yes, correct.
I couldn't tell by
I-
the way you
I
said all these
really-
boys are kissing.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be surprised though if a good portion of them, like a good portion of them, do seem like they're gay. So
Literally that they could just swing no matter what.
Yeah.
That's that
We'll
Gen
see.
Z.
a bunch of horny boys left on an island for
Yeah.
a month. I mean,
Still going through puberty. They're 17, so God bless them.
I don't know if I'm seeing those vibes from Scotty and Bo, but like
no,
the
no,
other
definitely not.
6 100% are like, yeah.
6 out of 8. That's lit.
speaking of Bo, I actually, were you gonna?
Go ahead. No,
I
I'm
actually,
interested
I
in
think
you.
this is a good place to turn to them because we haven't really talked about the two best friends.
Yeah, we can kind of turn into episode 2 as well. Besides, we can jump into Gretchen's son in a bit, but let's jump into
I thought it was very interesting how Scotty, right? That's
Yeah.
his name, was like trying to sneak the food to Bo, and Bo was not smooth about it. And wasn't it Josh?
Not at all. Josh kind of saw it in a glance, we think. So,
But he like the way this was actually something that might point to Josh being the narc almost, because it like alluded to the fact that he might have seen them passing the granola bar or Nutri-Grain or whatever it was,
And
but
did
then he
nothing
like
about
didn't
it.
say anything. Instead, he said something about something else.
Yeah, he was like laughing about
did
some
laugh.
stupid joke.
Oh yeah, it was the spills.
Spills,
Yeah.
his Spills account.
That's so stupid.
Which
I would
honestly,
follow.
I actually was about to say it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
would
love-
totally do
Dude, they're
that.
trapped on an island with celebrity. Dude, it's the head of the spills account. with
But
a
the
Z.
fact that he's taking photos of the spill makes me also believe he's the narc, because why would he be so relaxed and taking photos of
also,
things
Bro,
on
you
this-
see a spill, instincts kick in. If you're running the Spills account,
yeah, seriously,
But
that's years of training.
They don't know that they're getting off of this island.
Speaking of spills really quickly, I'm just going to say
Where?
that I think that he is going to have the saddest backstory, because Shelby's for me was the saddest backstory. I thought that her backstory was fucking devastating with her friend, like her being in the closet and just like projecting all of that like internalized stuff onto her friend, and then her friend killing herself is like the worst thing of all time. And I think that's another reason why Shelby does not want to go home. Like she's on this island, like, well, that's spoiling the end of 3, but she literally just like dropped the ball hard there because she's having a great time on the islands. Her life on the island is better than it is at home. And I think that like, I think he's going to have the worst because he's kind of the happiest on the island. I think he's going to have the worst backstory.
That's a good point. Yeah, they do. They're both very like happy-go-lucky kind
Yeah.
of.
Mhm.
it didn't really look like it was a guarantee. Like she decided
Mm,
to
it was-
leave them on the island. There might have been like a 2% chance she could flag that ship down.
She didn't even try. She was
didn't
there.
even
That was
try.
her shift to try, and she said,
That's the shift.
Drop the ball there a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
literally,
That's
down.
true.
I
She
think-
left it.
I think 3 minutes before that in the episode was when they were all singing. That's
Home.
when, Rachel, which I think arguably my favorite scene of like the whole series.
So cute.
So
Um,
cute.
And she literally turns to Tony and is like, I think this is like the happiest I've ever been, or something like that. So
Yeah.
It's like the best moment of my life.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Aw.
she doesn't want to go home. She doesn't want to go back to all that.
Cute.
Yeah.
Drop the freaking
She
ball.
also can't be herself at home.
I just
Exactly.
think about Rachel with her. She nobody to look at that thing. That thing is infected.
Yeah. Truly.
Well,
Rachel's a tank.
Yeah, she is.
Her backstory is really bad too.
Yeah.
They
They
all
all-
have bad
yeah.
backstories. That's the point.
Mhm.
if I'm honest,
Dots is the worst.
No, I was gonna say something against Rachel.
I
but
mean,
guess-
she did have to like kill her father.
Yeah.
yeah, that was the worst.
Yeah. No, but that was something where it's like devastating in the fact where it's like her dad's passing like this and that, which is fucking devastating. Shelby did something terrible, which then led to something even more devastating and terrible. It's like
That's
Shelby did something to that. Like it wasn't Dot's fault by any means. She just had that's something that happened to her.
Yeah.
It was selfless of Dot and selfish of Shelby.
Right. Well said. That's my girl.
What about Fatin too? And she's sending
Yeah,
all of their sex with her
dude.
dad. First of all, yeah, she's whipping that dick pic of her dad out way too casually, showing it around. Even the dude was like, "Dude, that's your dad." She's like, "So?" I'm like, "I'm with the guy on this one here."
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why is that your reaction? Because the way
Yeah.
the way I saw it, the parents being so calm about it, it's like the wife knew, and
Yeah.
like that they were kind of like open about it. She was like saying like, "Yo, our private life is none of your business." That's what I was getting. And I'm like, "Fat dude, what are you doing?"
That and Stab was hot.
I think Fan just didn't feel like loved or like family, right? She was just like a tool for them to just like
Mm.
show how she was like another means to show their wealth and like how great they were and
A
fancy.
trophy
She-
child.
Yeah, trophy
Yeah.
child. Yeah, their cash cow, if you will. And
That's
she
why I was
resented
saying
them.
that she had like she was the most adult in terms of like life experience because they were all dealing with their own like family trauma, whereas she was expected to be the award-winning celloist or whatever and travel the world and meet fancy people and et cetera, et
And
cetera.
then
I
lived
love
like
that.
a double life where she could, like she kind of
Boom.
raised herself.
And sexually most experienced too.
Yeah.
That's very adult stuff.
I loved when Fatin was. You kind of forget that Fatin was like is like a master cellist, and then Leah's playing the fucking thing, and she's like, she's flat, but it's funny because you're like, oh yeah, she's a musical genius. Like her pitch is probably
yeah.
like absolutely
Spot
perfect.
on, yeah.
And then when she like approached Martha when she was like really grumpy and Martha was just like, "Ugh, I'm in a bad mood, like I want to be alone, you should probably leave." Yeah. And she just like
Yeah.
goes right up. She's like, if you have any issues like maybe with sex, like I'm here. They're like the same age,
Yeah.
but like she's able to offer herself as like the older sister.
Mhm.
It's awesome.
Also,
love
that
it.
brings back to actually Martha in season 1. Like I remember she asks Leah like what it's like to be in love. Like Martha's just like this like sweet, hopeless romantic that like just wants to experience that. And so like Fatin can help her.
Marcus, I love her and Marcus. Arguably my favorite couple over Shony.
Who and who?
Marty and Marcus.
Marcus.
mannequin?
Marcus.
Oh, I knew she was gonna pull. I called that the mannequin was coming out when she's like, something's not right. Yeah.
We're missing
Marty's Marty's
here.
backstory is awful too. Terrible. God, they're all bad. Now
They're
that we're
all
like
really
saying one
bad.
can't win.
That's
Yeah.
a prerequisite.
Tony's
be
is
on the
also
island.
terrible.
You have to have a horrible child.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
like it's people who are, I don't know want to say gifted or like talented, but they kind of are, right? And they've overcome adversity. So Gretchen's like, yeah, they'll overcome more adversity on this fucking island. So obviously the boys are going to be stacked in the same way. I don't think any of them have a light upbringing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, I also think that's what gave them the like excuse of the retreat. Like it's like, oh, like they're troubled. Like Leah's parents, like they were like, this summer camp, like by the time she's returned to you at the end of August, she'll be a completely changed girl.
She'll be dead.
She'll be in a psych ward.
Leah's
Straight
not
dead.
dead.
No, not specifically, but
Dude, the whole parents and like having video conferences with Gretchen. I'm like, how are you not freaked out that you haven't seen anybody? It's been what, 50 days? And the parents didn't ask any questions.
I think that's part of what they were sold on. It's,
It's-
like they're going away and you won't talk to them. It's part of
I
like
thought-
curing them.
Oh, okay. I thought it was supposed to be like a short trip, like
No.
not 50 days.
I remember with like Leah's parents, it was like, it'll be hard. You won't be able to contact her, but like that's best for her kind of thing. right?
So I actually thought about this in my recent like rewatch this weekend. They tell the girls that it's a weekend retreat, but they tell Leah's parents that it's
Wow.
a summer camp, which
okay.
reminds me of like wilderness camps that troubled kids get sent to.
Yep.
It's the same idea. You get picked up in the middle of the night. You have no idea where you're going. Like I know people who like thought they were going to Disney World. Jokes on them, weren't, but then you're there for like
Okay. That makes
somewhere
way more
between 6
sense.
and 12 weeks with no contact with your family.
Children deserve better. This is fucked.
Yeah, this is really fucked
That's
up.
a real thing. Though.
You know, I
Okay.
know.
Let's just jump into the point of it all. What the fuck is Gretchen gonna tell the parents?
I
So
was
like
about
we
to
were,
say.
she lost a hand. This person died. I'm like fucking traumatized. Like what do you tell the people? What do you tell
Well,
anybody?
Jeanette was an adult.
But everyone else.
It
is
doesn't.
parents.
In Gretchen's
True,
head,
she's
because she's
parents.
cuckoo, acceptable losses. I think she'll give them like a doctor speech, honestly, like, I'm sorry, we couldn't do anything to save them or help them further. They were sacrificed for the greater good of women.
Yeah, but
being
Probably in
placed
the
in
paperwork
power.
they didn't read, right? Or
That's
but
there probably
Yeah.
is some fine print about
The
like
parents had to sign off on this somehow, and there's
without knowing.
but I'm talking about this is Paris Hilton and like the school she got. If anyone's seen Paris in Love, basically Paris Hilton, her parents sent her to this school where she got fucking beat up, like thrown in isolation rooms for like weeks at a time. Like it was terrible. And Paris Hilton has been like working to abolish them basically because it's terrible. And this is like on a mass scale. These people are going to be traumatized and need therapy for the rest of their lives. Like this isn't something that you could just exit like this. I don't understand what the end game is here.
What's the end game, right? Like, yeah, you get your experiment, hopefully no one dies. But then how do you explain it away? And then how do you deal with the fallout? Like, well, I don't, what does Gretchen even care? I mean,
also it's not like she thinks that she's doing something for the greater good. So do the people that run these schools. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the same exact thing. They think that they're being helpful. It's not malicious, but like she doesn't care about their individual lives.
Yeah.
She cares about the big picture.
Whew. Okay, so Leah is this whole episode is basically just trying to get any information out of Rolf that they can. And that's basically the
Mhm.
plot point. You get Rolf's backstory, but I need to say this line. It's once upon a time,
wait.
2 plane crashes were staged. All the victims were dosed and stranded on 2 islands, 8 on one, 8 on the other, though that number was subject to change. I was like, fuck. And that was the trailer, right? That's the season. I was hesitant to post that on my story because that is such a spoiler. That's such a crazy spoiler. Like Rachel and Leah are like idle hands. What do they say? Idle hands.
Devil's mind.
Devil, yeah, whatever. So cute. But they're like off doing things because it's the only thing making them not crazy is doing stuff with their hands and building things. So when they find they become a band and sing Home, which is incredible. That song fucks
That was
and it's so cute.
good. And right before that too, when they were like figuring it out, like, oh man, like this has helped me. Like I haven't had a crazy thought in like 100 hours. Like, man, I should have been a carpenter. You would have been a hot carpenter.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is what I wanted from Rachel and Leah, dude.
Yeah.
It's the 2 that I had a problem with in season 1. Now they're like clicking and like having fun. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I'm here for the friendship.
Yeah, there's a lot of good scenes. First of all, they also get the retirement box in this episode, which is so cute. And also, I feel like they did that on purpose to kind of show like this wouldn't have been on your plane. This may have been like some other sort of wreckage or something. Like,
Yeah.
I think they did it to throw them off, but it still was obviously planted from that team. They just made it so like, here's a little treat, a little retirement party treat, which was so cute.
That was really cute.
Yeah. I do want to say that I thought that I had like favorite friendships, but then I was like during the home scene when Leah like grabs Fatin's face and was singing, but then Fatin and Dot is also really cute. And then Dot and Shelby is also cute from season 1. Like when they finally rebonded, like when her teeth fell out and all that stuff. And I'm like, I do like all this, but they're not really giving Shelby any screen time with anybody but Toni this season.
I was yelling, take your teeth out, like
Yeah.
at Shelby, because I haven't seen
Yeah.
it in 3 episodes yet.
Yeah, I know. It's good. All the friendship is incredible.
Also, when you think about it, like they've been stuck on this island now for over a month.
Yeah.
So
it probably feels like years.
Gotta
yeah,
bond, yeah.
Because you don't have. And
they're
when they
also
were-
so malnourished. I bet.
oh,
Like
good God.
Now with Martha, the
Yeah,
stone
they're
cold
eating
killer,
good.
out here just killing all types of animals.
Yeah.
It's literally
true.
not touching a fly to I know how to kill every animal on this island.
They're getting protein. I don't know about any other like vitamins or minerals, but
Okay, so here's a question. Do you think that the experiment is continuing at this asylum place, jail? Because the fact that Leah was like, I know you let me be in there. There's no way you would just let me be in there. You have eyes on us at all times. Like, do you think that the experiment is now continuing at some point? Do you like Gretchen drawing that smiley face? She was like, I love this girl. This girl is like proving all my points. Be a smart, like fucking diabolical girl, just like me. You know what I mean?
she
Like,
loves Leah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely think it's part of the experiment.
yeah.
Because why else would they have them playing that they're like FBI agents?
Is it like who figures it out first? And again, if the girls figure it out or a girl figures it out
Could
first,
be.
again, it proves her point. Like
I don't know.
feels
That's
like
cool.
she just keeps evolving the rules.
Yep.
Because she said something like one episode 3, maybe she's like, well, what if I change protocol? Like, she's like, that's not protocol. She's like, and like it's like
I'm the
it's
boss.
all-
Yeah.
Science is out the window. Like following a formula is out the
She said,
window.
"Who's the HBIC?" Oh, it's
Oh.
me.
She is cringe.
She really is cringe. I love her though. I actually like love to hate
She's a
Gretchen.
good
I think
villain.
she's a great villain.
She's
yeah.
a great villain.
She
yeah.
yeah.
Was she from like Whoville from The Grinch? She looks like she,
She
was.
looks so
She could've
familiar.
been.
Period.
You were the one who called her out for
She's
being
from 6 feet under.
6 feet under.
Mm.
I
Throwback.
never thought of it as the experiment going on. That's actually really cool.
Me neither until I
the
said
way
it.
I took it was that something happened. Like a girl died, or like a kid died, and they're trying to figure out what happened, and they're trying to like figure it out and get these guys to interview them because they want to figure out what they're going up against before they get their asses sued.
That's true. That's not a bad point. They do keep saying that it's quarantine too.
Yeah. So I figured like something horrible happened. They say, day 15 for the guys or whatever.
Perfect segue.
Maybe somebody died and now these people are like, oh fuck, we're gonna go to jail unless we figure out exactly what happened and cover it up.
Yep, that's exactly what I think and I think I said this to you where I was like, they're gonna pin something bad happen on each, and they're gonna pin like the murder or something on them. They're gonna be like, we have all of this like evidence of something bad you did, so we gotta like sign this NDA, maybe give them $1 bajillion and give them an NDA. You know what I mean?
Do we
Um,
think that's what well, I guess that's what they want Leah to get out of Roth, right? Like what happened?
Yeah, probably.
Definitely. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Day 15.
So here it is. This is episode 3. So this is day 36 for the girls and 14 for the boys. It's Cougar Day. And it's the Scotty and Bo backstory. And Scotty's the one actually getting interviewed. So we know it's Roth and Scotty are the only people who are alive so far outside. Those are the only boys we've seen. But yeah, they mentioned the day 15 blind spot. So that's going to be a hot day. I didn't actually look forward to see which episode we were getting day 15. If we ever get
The
it.
day they
It'll-
kill a jag. That's what they said, right? That was like when they woke up, they were
Yeah.
like, oh, like we're gonna go
accurate.
hunting.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe the cameras failed that day or something, and they just don't know what happened.
Oh,
And they also
cool.
fought the fucking
Yeah,
cougar.
they
Yeah.
wake up and
The
somebody's
jag.
dead. One of the kids is dead.
Who of the boys have we seen?
Just
Just
Scotty
Roth and
Roth.
Scotty.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I have a bad feeling for Bo. I love Bo, but
I love Bo and Scotty's friendship. I love
Me
it.
too.
I said Bo's done. Yeah. I think.
What was Gretchen's son's name?
It's DJ on the island, but Quinn, his name is Quinn.
Right. We also know he's alive, but he's irrelevant at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. I'm really interested in that cadaver that was ripped up.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what
Like
was
they
that?
carried
we were
it into
talking
the
about
ocean.
that.
It must. They really thought it. I mean, the face was bloody and everything. So
Chomped
wouldn't
off.
it
His
not
face
feel
was
like a real
eaten.
body?
Okay.
I don't know.
I think I know exactly what it is. There's obviously something like right under the surface there that they have like some sort of like summary. I think that probably Leah was chasing Nora out and Nora probably heard them and was just like, they're probably like, go in the ocean and drown. We'll get you. You know what I mean? Like she ran straight into the ocean. I know Rachel just so happened to be out there, but
I was thinking that too, kind of like there's no way that they could bring her back to the island after that. She wouldn't be safe.
yeah, no.
Get a shit kicked in. That was one of my biggest problems though with season 1 was Nora communicating with the cameras through the notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, you gave that notebook to Leah, maybe not that one. but,
Sure.
Everybody's taking inventory. Everybody knows what everybody has. Like, what are the chances they can look through and either see 1 million pages torn out or literally your messages to the camera saying, Leah knows. and all
Also,
this other stuff.
How did she know where they were?
She
I mean,
probably
like,
got the rundown
She
before.
did have a phone too.
Yeah,
That's true.
So, this episode, I don't think we really needed to dive into Bo and Scotty. I mean, Bo obviously lives a sad life with his dad, who makes everything is like a sergeant and like a
OCD.
Oh, yeah.
OCD abusive dad. I knew something terrible was gonna happen. Those t-shirts, me and Al were just grabbing each other the whole time, being like, "Get the ring on the table, that this and
We
that."
were
And we're like,
too.
just like, oh my god, this is so stressful.
Yeah,
And I didn't like that they smashed that house up at the end. I was like, this is just like stupid kid shit. I was like, this is dumb.
Made absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
All right.
That was-
I agree that it was stupid, but like I kind of understand. Like they were so pissed off. This was this dude's own. They have so much anger about where their lives are. They just want to get some source of like all of this anger and just build up stuff out. And they were just like, fuck it. There's this old person's home. Maybe we won't get caught and just take all their anger out on it. But I agree, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you're gonna get fucking caught and you're gonna get screwed.
Yeah, kids, man, they make dumb choices.
They really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We forget that. I think you're
Yeah.
used to watching shows with like
Mm.
adult age people, probably right,
And they look
but
like adults. Like a lot of them look like
they're
adults.
probably 20 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're played by adults, but
So we forget that they're literally 17.
how that dynamic translates to the island of Scotty and Bo is that Scotty immediately says an us versus them mentality
Yeah.
because it's always been them versus the world. And I really did not like how Scotty was
Mm-hmm.
trying to promote that in Bo. Bo resisted it, which was good. I'm hoping they dropped it in episode 3 when the other guys went to sleep and he was just like, yo, they really did have our backs. Let's not try and hide from them anymore. I hope they don't touch that again.
Yeah.
I
me
really
too.
like Scotty. He reminds me of Eddie from Ed, Ed and Eddie, just like a finesser, a
Yeah.
schemer. He's always got to get rich quick. scheme.
Jawbreakers.
Like the whole montage where like it was like a heist scene where they take the dad's car and like head down. Like that was a great scene. I was stressed out though.
was
I
cute.
knew it wasn't gonna have a happy
They're
ending.
like,
Yeah.
shit, we have 2 minutes. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
It's
You know,
funny how stressed they made us over like a really minute thing. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna spill in the car. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't have 2 car accidents in 2
Mhm.
episodes in a row because of like Ralph's thing. It's like I was like, he's gonna spill.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just-
We kept being like, no,
They
no,
built
don't,
really
don't.
well. They really did a good job building tension over something that is
Oh,
minor in the scheme of like
And seeing the
island.
dad's shadow walk by the door.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like,
That was bad.
Like we see these people like getting their asses beat in the wilderness, but this scene had us all like,
I know. But yeah, not the
Good
cougar
writing.
scene. It was the dad.
yep.
Fucking dad.
Yeah, I really wasn't
Dad.
afraid of the cougar.
Jaguar. Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Jaguar. Well,
Yeah,
that's what
because he-
Scotty called it. Who knows what it is?
Yeah, because he was like, yeah, no, they don't know, but he was like,
He always
I always
a
wanted a
Jag.
jaguar.
But
yeah.
it's black. That's all we know, right?
yeah.
Puma.
Panther.
Could be any of the above.
But
Tune in next time.
we actually jumped the gun because the home scene's in the 3rd episode, I think.
It was amazing.
Right.
It happened.
Yeah, because
Tra-la-la-la.
because I was just gonna say because this is where all like the sex. There's like the good. They had this amazing Tony and Shelby shot that it's just like them kind of far away shot, and it was like a gorgeous the way
Like
I
the
don't.
sun, like
Oh my god, it was so
amazing.
good,
It was
which
so
went
pretty.
straight
They
into
are
a sex scene.
spoon-feeding Shoney's
They
stance.
really
That
were.
was-
Also, when Martha, after she had that conversation with Fatin,
She was getting it.
So yeah, she was like going into the woods to discover herself, and like
Yeah.
in tandem with the Shony scene. So
Yeah,
And also
Kathleen
Dot in tandem going to get her leisure in.
Oh,
Yeah.
reading that porny book. Yeah, Kathleen was like, "This is gonna be Paul's sexiest scene."
Yeah.
Like,
that almost was.
I liked Tony like knowing the book and talking about her wedding. I thought that was cute and out of character and a good, cute little surprise that she like fantasizes about her wedding and the cake and everything.
They
Sweet.
gave everyone a double take. They were like, "You what now?
Yeah.
what?"
Who the hell are you girls?
Yeah. All the cute little conversations like that about making the bed where everyone was like, who makes their bed and who doesn't.
I loved that.
It was so sweet.
Am I on? Like, I feel like I'm Team Leah. Like half the time I do. Half the time I
Yes,
don't.
I'm
I
Leah.
that's exactly what we were like.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
me
were like half nap.
I'm more on the I don't, but Alex is on the I do. So
I'm Team Leah, but like she makes it hard. But I'll stick it out. 'cause
no,
she's
no,
gonna-
she means about do you make your bed or not?
It's like,
Not
wow, we
just
pivoted.
generally.
We just
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
go back to. Oh,
You always make your bed.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
And you
thought it
make
was
my bed as
interesting
well.
that we did both.
Yeah,
I
she makes
also
my bed for
like
me.
how it's a running joke on the girls' island that Leah just is crazy town, which is a new word that you gave to me,
Crazy town.
Kathleen. Crazy town is amazing. She's totally crazy town, but she is.
Yeah, totally.
And the island pokes fun at it.
Yeah.
because she is.
You have to. She
You
is.
must.
I literally wrote it was like Rachel and Leah's productive crazy corner. Like
Yeah.
they just like two
They're
little
killing
nut
it.
jobs
Love
running
that.
around the asylum.
Yeah, it's
Look
good.
how much stuff we got done.
I know. Oh wow.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So my one big question for season 2 is what is going on with Shelby's anaphylactic shock that she was in? You guys remember that?
Oh, right.
Like that was in after the island. they were in the asylum or whatever you want to call it.
That's a great point
And she
because
said she didn't eat the mussels because she's allergic to shellfish. So I assume that's what sent her into the anaphylactic shock. But one wasn't on purpose for Leah to just like be a distraction for Leah to get out. And two, like, how did that even happen?
I thought you meant at the end of one how Shelby was kind of in that like trance and started cutting her hair off and shit. Is her hair cut off in this season?
No, that was season
Mm-mm.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying I thought that's what you
I don't think
meant,
it
that
grew
she was
back
in a
that
shock.
fast.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were just like saying like a word.
I'm saying anaphylactic, but I am not confident
Oh, yeah, she
at
was, like,
all that's how
seizing
you
up.
pronounce it.
Anaphylaxis.
Okay.
See, I was saying
But
it wrong.
actually, it might be anaphylactic.
It's anaphylactic shock.
So she was
But
in
also
she was in
anaphylaxis,
a hospital room bed when they were interviewing Shelby.
Yeah, with like the shaved
Yeah.
head and everything.
Yeah, I can't wait to see why they shaved her.
I don't remember them saying it was anaphylaxis.
She was just like seizing up. I think maybe you thought because she avoided that.
I want to go back and say the nurse running around told this to Gretchen or whoever came in because I wrote it down. Unless I'm stupid.
Yeah, you wouldn't have just made
But-
that up.
And they did give her like the EpiPen shot and everything too.
I
So
was like, you
basically,
should know this word, woman. Okay.
so it seems like none of us have any idea what the hell is going on there.
No, I forgot about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
I'm
the
like a
show's got-
wellness check on all my girlies. Like, where's everyone in the asylum?
Yeah.
Can I just get like what they're doing in the room just
Mhm.
for 5 seconds.
Damn, this show was good.
The show is good.
Me and Alex are going home after this and watching the next one.
Yes, so are we.
Yeah.
Are we all gonna be on the screeners? of this?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we nailed the 3 episodes. I mean, this is when Shelby doesn't get light the fire for the boat.
What are
But
you doing?
Yeah.
What are
yeah.
you doing, Shelby?
Brutal
It was
hires.
interesting too because it was like at the last second she looked like maybe she wanted to, but it was too late.
She was fighting with herself.
She really internal battle for sure.
But also like she can't be herself at home. I feel like I said that earlier, but
You did, but I
But like you got to think of
Reiterate.
the 7 other people or whatever on the, you know what I mean? But
well,
how
I feel
clearly are
like-
you thinking?
right. I mean, like I don't know. I feel like if I was Shelby, I'd just be like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go live with Toni when I get back and like
Yeah.
screw my family and my life."
I mean, Toni doesn't have any roots either, so
It's a mess.
start fresh.
I love those girls. I fucking love those girls.
I hope that talk show scene from season 1 comes to fruition.
I truly.
Even though it was fake, I still hope it's a thing.
I know.
yeah. I hope it comes to fruition.
Which one of them fucks it up and then they
Fatin.
come out of it and they're like,
Fatin's like, I'm gonna find the biggest dick I can.
yeah.
Fuck it. Bro,
Classic.
like, say that on TV.
That scene was awesome.
It was good. I loved it.
I'm starting to think that Kieran doesn't have a micro penis because they wouldn't give him that and gonorrhea. That's like
Damn.
so much badness.
Yeah.
No, he's inflamed and in pain.
I'm gonna buy in on that 20%. I like the I didn't think of it and I like it. So
Was-
20%.
Was episode
with you.
3 where he steals the antibiotics?
I think that 2 or 3, yeah.
Ivan or Taylor? Let's commit.
Let's call it Taylor.
Taylor.
Call him
I like
Taylor.
that too. I did not like how Taylor spilled those beans after making a point to have an emotional. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you on this, dude.
Yep,
It is embarrassing.
agreed.
Like they had a moment and then he completely betrayed that.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I think Taylor's gonna be like a shit stirrer on the island.
Oh,
I don't really trust him. Like I
Could he
like
be the
him as a
narc?
character, but I don't trust him.
He seems really damaged too. He seems like very fragile. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like he's got some trauma. I
Mhm.
bet.
I think the beef with him and Kieran is actually not direct. Like I don't know why my brain has this theory already, but I think maybe like some lax bro friend of Kieran's and Taylor hooked up or something and he spilled, like maybe that's where like the Glee reference comes in, you know, like it,
I'm in on
it doesn't
that.
seem like Kieran's personally like, you did this to me. He's like, what you did back there wasn't cool. Like,
Right.
that's the vibe I get. The only quote I wrote down of the whole 3 episodes was from Taylor, and he was like, "Could someone explain what in the absolute caucasity this man is
Yeah.
doing?"
We
And
laughed out loud.
I love the word caucasity.
I love
I
that.
used it, and it's just
That's
hilarious.
awesome.
How about-
We be doing caucacious things sometimes.
Yeah.
How about
Fucking hell.
Josh saying, I forgot about my kids and it's just Sour Patch Kids? They're like, that's so weird, but I kind of love it.
That-
I totally love that.
That was one of my favorite.
Where my
lines
kids?
by Taylor.
I'm just going back through my notes and I'm seeing that I wrote, Josh has the lighter. I, in parentheses, Emma, think that Josh is the second mole. So I apparently have changed my opinion.
And you forgot that you changed
and
your
I
opinion.
forgot. Yes. But the one quote that was my favorite of these first 3 episodes is when Leah is talking to Roth and she's like, same sandals, same shirt. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
same misery or whatever. Same
Yeah.
whatever. That was good. Yeah.
Same sandals, same sweat, same nightmare.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah. I didn't like if Roth isn't the mole, and now I'm kind of on team he may be the mole for this. He's so lame. He's so lame. It's like this girl is literally coming in and telling you this. It's like, just listen. I know you're probably so fucked up from whatever happened.
He
It's
just
like,
got back. He's probably shocked. I don't know.
He would kind of be the Leah equivalent, though.
Mhm.
well, yeah, and I think that may be an amazing twist.
Oh yeah, you said that earlier.
Yeah.
Although we've already seen his backstory, and based off of that, it doesn't seem.
Nora's had a normal backstory. I mean, Jeanette was kind of like groomed into it, but Nora was
That's
just like
true.
kind of found and being like, "Hey, you like this opportunity? I'm gonna throw you on silent."
But Roth's girlfriend gave the card, right?
It doesn't matter how you find Gretchen. I think Gretchen decides who could be a good narc and who couldn't. I
That's
honestly don't
true.
think Roth could be a good narc. I think he sucks.
He's so anxious. And
I
Yeah.
agree. Actually, I don't.
I'm pretty honed in on Josh or Seth at this point, or Henry.
You know what is a
One
good
of those
flip?
3. I've pretty much eliminated the other 5.
Jeanette, when you see her backstory, is so cool. Whatever her name is in real life, like justice for her, because I was obsessed with her. That
She's so
sucks.
cool.
I
She's
couldn't
such a
believe she
badass.
died from like the internal injuries of just like falling onto the boat. I was like, oh, I thought it happened just like when they placed her. I wasn't sure how the plane crash was actually going to be staged. Not that they like drugged them, put them in the water, whatever. But Josh will probably be really funny. If anyone's seen like Scary Movie, the one where they make fun of Scream, where Dewey is like kind of, they make him kind of like disability-ish, and then at the end he just like takes off all the shit and he's like a hot boy and he hops in the car. That's what
Yeah.
Josh is gonna do. He's gonna be like, what the fuck, I had to act like a dork this whole time, and like he's
Actually,
gonna be
I
like a
could see that.
completely different person. Whoever it is gonna be like similarly to Jeanette. I think a little bit of a different person, unless that was the Quinn of it all. But either way, I'm just going on
I
a
think
tangent.
Quinn was the Jeanette because everyone else knows each other.
Yeah,
right.
Like
Yeah.
Josh knows
And he was
Taylor.
just the one who hated his mom.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Did we already theorize why they yanked him off the island so quick?
Because of Jeanette.
Okay, we did
Steph.
cover that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, that was my whole argument about why I think the boys started after the girls.
Yeah.
Is because they needed to do all this to keep all variables equal to the
Yeah.
girls.
Like,
That's
throw
what
things-
makes
throw
them
things in the
control
mix at the
group.
same
The
time.
girls.
Yeah.
The
That's-
guys, she called the guys the control group.
Yes, that might be what makes them that, because they let the girls completely be random, and then when they went through with the guys, they matched the variables.
Okay.
Which isn't what a control is supposed to be, but
No.
maybe TV producers
Yeah.
just said, "Oh, the control, that's a science term."
Yeah.
Also, the animal I feel like is their shark.
Yeah. Their dangers are equal,
Okay,
which I
right.
was like, bullshit, Gretchen. They're in the water how many percent of the time? And these guys are on land how much percent of the time?
It's
Like,
not equal.
it's not
Also,
equal.
how far do you think these islands are from each other?
Well, that was a whole other question I was going to say. Do you think they're different islands or the same islands?
I think they're different islands.
But that goes against what I just said because they started later. They have to be different because,
Yeah.
like, how'd you not find that hatch? That was my biggest thing.
They're
I was
different
like,
landscapes too.
Yeah, true. With like the guys are on the cliffs and everything, and the girls didn't really
Yeah.
like have that.
I feel like the hatch could have been because the guy said it like statistically it all evens out to the same risk level or whatever between the two islands.
Yeah.
Maybe their island had some positives like
Okay.
the hatch to outweigh the negatives of a fucking cougar
Yeah.
on the island.
Mhm. I'm surprised that the hatch, for any like Lost fans out there, the hatch and Lost is like such a big thing. It's where all the numbers come in for anybody. I don't want to spoil anything, but it just means that somebody was on this island once upon a time. This is not an island that's never been tracked upon. Kind of like Kieran said, there's no more fucking islands. We found them all. You know what I mean?
love that line.
Yeah, which is like, we were like, yeah, kind of. That's kind of true. Like someone has stumbled upon every single fucking
They
island.
called dips.
You know what I mean? But a hatch means that somebody was like actually there. Like
Well-
this is a place that somebody was landed on and made a hatch and put it in the ground.
Stuff wasn't dusty really either.
No.
It's in
Like,
2006.
They did
Oh,
not-
okay.
Oh,
The book said 2006.
Yeah,
sorry.
they said
But
last entry.
but I wonder if
that
the
was a
food,
fresh
like
case of Miller Lite.
wouldn't that wouldn't the Miller Lite, like these all things have all these things have expiration dates.
They
The
said that.
peanut butter would have an
There was a line
expiration date.
about it.
They did
Oh, was
say
there?
like,
Or suggestions.
are you think any of these are good? And he was like, well, expiration dates are just suggestions. But I do agree, beer sitting down there for that long, I can't imagine it.
Well, just
Probably
the-
didn't taste good,
Yeah,
but
they
if you
probably
were
were
on that
s-
island as a sign of camaraderie, we're splitting the
is
beer.
fair.
But
Come on
also,
now.
why don't they sleep down there? Like, I don't understand why they didn't
bunker. Yeah.
move everyone.
Like,
there.
I mean, 100%. That's where you hide from the fucking cougar.
right? And it's the shelter. Like,
Yeah.
it's you have a roof
Well,
over your head.
Also, I'm like, the branding of the packaging of like all the stuff was not 2006 oriented. Like, I'm not like,
That's
I don't have memorized Fiji's label like or
Mhm.
Miller Lite, but that shit was modern. Like,
Yeah.
they just didn't dwell on it enough. So therefore, Narctown.
Exactly.
I don't know. Seth was
USA.
real. Like, he found it. He found it. Everyone like cheer for Ralph.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'd be curious to rewatch that episode and see if Seth kind of like led him there.
I said that because that was one of the reasons I was like, it's Seth. I was like,
Mm.
he was letting Raph lead the way, but I was like, Seth probably led him straight there.
That was right after the fire ant scene.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yes, he came into the woods when he heard the scream. 100% he could have led him there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Is
buy
that,
into
is
that.
that where you got your first hint at Roth and Seth kissing?
Nah,
Was
right
that,
away. It was
"Take your
way
pants
earlier
off,
than
yeah,
that.
Take your pants off and I'll
Yeah,
help."
Seth was
Swap your
always
ankle.
super
Flirty.
Yeah, he was always like, "Wow,
the way he
tell me about
Ralph looks at
yourself."
Seth, I was like, this boy wants to kiss him.
Yeah.
That's what it
badly.
was.
I kind of want to kiss Seth. Seth was so comforting as soon as they landed,
I know.
just
Truly.
like a narc would be.
Yeah, he
I
was
can't tell.
calm.
He was.
We guessed everybody to be the narc, I think, besides like Bo. So
We didn't
miss.
get
Scotty.
Sweet
So,
Bo.
Scotty.
It's not Scotty.
I don't think
Not
it's Kieran.
Taylor.
Kieran.
Taylor?
I don't
Or
think it's
Kieran.
Kieran. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Josh, Seth, or emo boy.
Yeah.
Skrillex.
Henry.
True.
Skrillex is good. I'm getting Ezra Miller vibes. I said that to her from Henry.
You're gonna start.
If anyone's seen,
I'm
we had to
get-
talk about Kevin. That's the vibes I'm getting. Ezra Miller, Henry vibes.
I'm getting Skrillex vibes.
Skrillex is good.
I loved
yeah.
that.
I really like Henry.
You guys should date each other.
Yeah.
Chemistry.
I really didn't have too much else. Did you guys?
No,
Not really.
we're gonna cover the next 2 or 3. We haven't decided. So,
Putting that out there for you guys.
but we're gonna cover a section. So it's either gonna be 2 or 3.
All right, we'll just end this with a little question. What was your favorite scene so far?
Not a Bang Kill Mary. I thought it was gonna be a Bang Kill Mary.
I feel like we're gonna run out.
Yeah, we can do it next time.
But
We do
yeah.
have like 16 people now.
I know.
Okay, here's what I want to know. Who is your favorite through 3 episodes from The Boys? Because we've all kind of said our favorite girl. We have
It's
3
Seth.
episodes, small sample size.
Narc, and he's my
Seth
favorite.
is your favorite?
Yeah, I like him the best.
Oh.
Oh man, I wanted to say like Taylor, but like he pissed me off with the whole like revealing the gonorrhea
Yeah.
thing. So he's not in my good graces right now. So I'll go with dude. I love Seth, but why do you try to kill and drown his stepbrother? It's the only downside to this perfect man. Fuck it, I'll just go with Seth anyway. You can drown me.
I kind of like Henry. Henry might be my favorite.
Sure. It's a good
He
one.
looks like he watches anime. He was a Boy Scout, you know?
Yeah.
I think Seth came out of their interaction looking way worse than Henry, although what Henry said was way over the line. But
Yeah.
sometimes that's just brothers being brothers. But Henry's my favorite.
All right, I'm gonna throw some oddballs out there. I'm gonna say either Bo or Kieran. My reasoning, Kieran
Kieran.
sucks, and I know that. But we also like have seen a side of him that's like not actually that hateful. He's just a fucking douche. Like
Yeah.
he's just like a high school douche. But like I don't think like deep down he's a terrible person. Like I just think he is like a bro.
You see potential.
Yeah, and I think that like he could totally flip like his personality, because he almost like came off too aggressive, almost. And then I think Bo is just like lovable.
Yeah, totally. Bo's a good choice. Kieran is crazy, but I see what you're saying for sure.
Taylor's my obvious one, but Bo, I have a soft spot for
Yeah.
Bo. I just think he's just like he's this big teddy bear,
He's so
and
cute.
like, but he's not like. He seems almost like Scotty's sidekick, but when they're on the island, he's like telling him what's not cool, and like you pull your head out of your ass, like it's
Yeah.
not just us against the world right now. Like, so I respect that, and
I loved
I
that
hope
boundary.
he makes it. I don't know. I think there's some good potential there for him.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely parallel to Martha,
That's why I have a soft spot.
and we
yeah.
haven't seen
But
her, so like
They're just like the
I
soft spoken,
kind of yeah.
sweet ones. Yeah.
Well,
We good to wrap this thing up? Put a
Get
little
it.
bow on it.
a little.
Yeah. We just covered episodes 1 through 3. There are going to be 8 total. We're either going to do it 3-3-2 or 3-2-2-1 or some other combination of the remaining numbers. As always, if you liked what you heard, give Bingetown TV a follow on Twitter and Instagram. Visit us on BingetownTV.com and subscribe to our show on Spotify, YouTube, the Apple Podcast app, or wherever else you may find your podcast. Our Patreon is up and running, so if you want to support the pod, that's a great way to do so. And that can also be found on our website at BingetownTV.com. Once again, we are Bingetown TV, and thanks for stopping by. Oh my gosh!
Whoa,
You need Ron Burgundy. And thanks for listening.
There you go.
That was I
threw me for a
that's Ron
loop.
Burgundy sign off. And thanks.